Boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are back impromptu style. So salute to our people on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. We are here. I am joined today by the lovely Violet Brown. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for coming on. And also, Mr. Zachary Hoskins. Am I saying your last name right?
You got it. Yep.
Got it. Man. I'm the butcher of names, but I got yours right. And we just came off of the high of doing the What Did Prince Do This Week book club that we do every Saturday. And I said, you know what? How many times do you get around other people who like Prince as much as you do, Mike? And so you can listen to some music and just kind of vibe out a little bit. And it's a nice Saturday afternoon. So I said, well, why don't we do it with the rest of the community as well? So we're just here having some fun. Jump into the comments. If you will, you might want to share this out with other people. So no matter what you got going on, I know some people are listening to this on their phones. You might be driving down the street or commuting, whatever it is. Now you got something that you can put in your ear. We're going to talk about some stuff that you love. So what's up, Deja? How y'all doing? What's up, Raywin? What's going on, sir? You found a live again, and you be hitting me up saying you want to see the live. Well, we are here. Yes. Nice to see Violet again. Absolutely.
Hey, Deja.
So we're in the building. What I wanted to do is, what I like to do? I like to actually play the music so we're gonna be yapping and stuff, but we want to vibe out to the music. What's up, Web Diva? Yes, part 2. That was the intermission. You know what I'm saying? This is the Lovesexy stream. That was the first side. Now we're coming back. We don't have any smack in our brains. You know what I'm saying? We can hear y'all. Our mics are on, as my man like to say. So with all of that, let me just go into this and get some of y'all comments. And you should already know where this is going. Yeah. Wrist. You can clap your hands at home too. 2, 3. Now, of course, this is Just My Imagination. Prince, Lovesexy band. This is the after show. It's a very popular bootleg, small club, a couple of different titles. I want to say, and I'm gonna ask you guys, was this the first Prince cover or a cover that you ever? This is the first time I ever heard Prince do a cover. That if I think about it.
No, I do have to think about it. In my mind, sorry, but covers. I always think '96 Emancipation album.
Yep.
That's the first thing that comes into my head. Is probably because when I learned.
Gotcha.
The age I was when I learned things.
Mm-hmm. And he was playing a lot. I feel like there were a lot of after shows in the 90s, especially after the name change, where he was playing like Pass the Peas and, all that, like the old funk stuff.
Yeah. Cut the Cake. He did
but
a
I'm
lot
trying
of
to think.
White band too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think though. Case of You. That is like, I think that's the earliest that I can think of, at least in front of an audience. Yeah,
that's right. I don't know if I had heard that though when I first heard this. I don't think I had heard the release of that Case of You performance, but it did come before this for sure. Yes, they do.
This is such an interesting. It's like, it's not even the fact that it was live is really interesting to me because it's like he gives it a whole different arrangement. It doesn't even sound like the song at first.
Right. And this solo is one for the books, like as much as people, and I say it warrants it, was it the Rock and Roll.
Oh
What's that
yeah, the
called?
Hall of Fame. Yeah,
Hall
with
of Fame.
While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Yeah.
This is my Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I think most people the people watching Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just had never seen Prince play guitar like that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and so it feels more remarkable. Not that it was, I mean, it was a great solo.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But I mean, he played solos like that all the time.
All the time. Yeah, because I think that Joy in Repetition, 2001.
Right. Right.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Let's go back into this for just a little bit here.
That's a really interesting point. I think that's true. Because I mean, even you know, like some of his most Purple Rain has a really great guitar solo. That's one of his most famous songs. You know, he's like completely shredding like Eddie Van Halen on Let's Go Crazy, but it was only when he just like I think also maybe it's because he's so, you know, this was an Eric Clapton, so the While My Guitar Gently Weeps is a Beatles song, but Eric Clapton was the one playing the guitar, and Prince just took that Eric Clapton solo and just completely blew it out of the water. So I think that's part of it also, is that he's one-upping the most famous guitarist of the kind of, you know.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. The thing to me about when I hear him play his solos like this, they just feel so emotional. Like, I don't know, just like he feels like he always has. I can just see his body contorting and doing all of the stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he just seems to give so much. And almost like he's, I don't want to say crying, but like a joy.
Yeah, it's definitely a form of communication.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you were there in the audience? You're at the beer, just ordering a drink, and all of a sudden, like, what just happened? Like, oh, like I've just been delivered.
Come on, I can't hear you.
Answer coming through.
Say
All right.
I mean, no, he doesn't. You know, like, I think it's increasing. Unfortunately, it took him passing away to happen. But I know that, like, you know, he was not on those 100 greatest guitars lists before 2016, and now he is. So you know, and I do think that there's a move, and I'm I have done, you know, rock criticism on a very low level in the past. And so, you know, I follow it to a certain degree. And I do think there's more recognition just of people of color, women,
Mm.
you know, there's it's become a lot less. There's a conscious effort to not just be talking about white guys. But I mean, there's still work to be done for sure. And you know, I mean, I think about it in terms of like, I don't know. Sometimes I just think that Prince should be more famous than he is, just in just in general. I'm obviously
Okay.
biased, but I'm often surprised by, you know, everybody respects him, but not as many people as you would think really know his stuff.
Yeah, that was always a level of frustration for me as a music fan, as a fan of Prince. And, in the 80s, the magazine
Mm,
experience was such a part of music experience. You had to read, you read to read the magazines, you wanted to hear the reviews and stuff. And I could always tell like they wasn't giving Prince the it wasn't really giving it up like they probably should have. And that always would frustrate me because I was like, yeah, I know these other guys are great, like not taken away, but they're not doing what this guy's doing. Like,
yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? And it just was just like, I get it. I understand why they're not doing it. I just thought it was wrong. Like, come on, you know. But hopefully, like you said, now that he's died, and I think just people have realized, like, yeah, man, you got to give up props on skill. We're not dealing with because you're not comfortable with skin color, whatever it is. Like this guy is phenomenal. Like they don't come around like this very often.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
think
you
the
know,
one area, I'm sorry.
oh
I
no,
was just gonna
I was
say
just go
he
ahead.
should get credit in a different way because as well as he played guitar, he played almost all the instruments just that well. So
Hmm.
he's in competition with people who the guitar is their instrument. It's the only thing that they
Right.
play. You know what I mean? So in my mind, he should get several levels more credit just on that basis because he was
Yeah.
amazing at everything that he did.
Yeah.
Maybe not
And
sax.
apparently not. Although I don't know, maybe that 1971 that middle school show, maybe that was like the best middle school band concert of all time. But yeah, I think he um I was going to say something similar, which I think, and I was guilty of this too. I've said this a lot, that it was kind of easy to take Prince for granted when he was alive, because it
Mm,
was like he was Prince, you know, and he just like, he always did an amazing show, and he could put together, you know, his albums, even the ones that got panned by critics, they were always competent at worst. You know, he never put out a truly bad record. And so I think he was so talented that it was kind of easy to just take him for granted. And so I think
mm,
now that he's gone, I know that I am a lot more generous to his music, even the stuff that I wasn't as crazy about. Because, you know, because it's no longer, he was also just so prolific. So now it's like, well, there's no longer just an unlimited amount of Prince music, you know,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Although the really amazing thing is that it's still coming out, so it almost is kind of like, it's still just stunning how much he did. So anyway, I'm really sorry. I have to run. I got
oh,
some family stuff that just came up, but
okay.
it was so great talking to you both.
Man, thank you too, man. Thank you for hanging with us and offering what you can. And listen, have a good afternoon, sir. We'll chop it up again. I
You
appreciate
too. Yeah, have fun, everybody.
All
you. All
right.
right. Thank you, Zach.
Bye.
My man. All right. It's just me and you.
No, sir. Absolutely not.
Let's talk about on the show. Oh, but he made a point. I was just thinking, yeah, because he was so prolific, and you kind of had like you. On one hand, you didn't know what you were going to get with Prince, but you knew you was going to get Prince. Like he
Exactly.
was going to
Yeah.
do his thing. It could be easy to sort of like take it for granted.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay. I know what this is going to be. I don't have to give it my full thing. Now, I didn't think that way, but I can see how like the general public, like they always want the new thing.
Yeah.
And for somebody that just kept relentlessly putting stuff out, like he wasn't stopping, he was pushing the envelope going forward all the time. I can maybe understand how it's you want to look at the newer thing over here, but the things that he was dropping though was just it was so ahead of the time. And now looking back on it, and I think we were mentioning this off the air with Zach, was some of the albums that I sometimes didn't pay as much attention to, like fully, like I would like certain songs. I can go back now and listen to them like, wow.
Yeah, and it's a different experience. The one thing I will say though is most musicians, like people who actually play,
Mhm.
they love Prince and
Oh
always have. Like we're influenced by him and all that kind of stuff. So like what the chart said and all that kind of stuff might give you a certain thing, or what the magazine treatment was might be a certain thing. But people who play, I've never met a person who was a musician and was like, "Oh, Prince is I." Like that's never
I have
happened.
met some that say that. They always say he's dope. I guess maybe they've always been like they didn't really follow it though. They were like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's dope, but I don't know what I haven't listened to him in years or type of thing. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, most musicians they already know like that guy is the top,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
musician.
Yep.
Say, listen, let's play something else here. Since we are sort of in this vein of the guitar, I kind of wanted to play this one. And I know we could play this one. They wouldn't shut it down because it ain't necessarily came out yet. So they won't know much about it. Yeah.
Sending out a message all over the world.
Have you heard this one before?
Mm-mm.
All the yellow boys, all the purple girls.
I believe it's called 99 to 5 People, but that
Listen to
could
the
be
drum,
a
pumping
mistake.
blood to your brain. If we don't make some love, we will go insane.
What year is this?
I'm about to look that up. 1 second.
We start the day with a line for the fight. We play loud so they know we're live.
And actually, this song is called Call of the Wild.
Nice. Okay.
And it's from July of 1985.
Okay.
Recorded in the warehouse.
But you are free. You know we are free.
And actually, there's a version that is, I guess, with the band, and then there's a version he recorded in Sunset Sound.
Okay. Which one is this?
Good question.
I like to know because the different musicians bring a different sound. That's why I always ask what year, because I'm thinking who's in the band at that moment.
This sounds like a studio recording, but
It does. I agree.
Give us riches. Give us the word.
I'm reading Prince Vote. It says, while it is not known if the recording included participation from other Revolution band members, the song is listed here as a Prince and the Revolution recording based on the timing of the
Okay.
recording
Okay.
and its consideration for the Parade album.
Oh,
Interesting.
that's interesting. Different vibe than that album.
Yeah. I just like that guitar. always had their groove going. All right. I'm gonna get ourselves caught up too much. What'd you think of what you heard so far there?
It's pretty dope. I will be honest with you. I was very happy when he switched over to Fender guitars. It's a different sound, and I generally like those songs a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, it was good as always.
So yeah, I mean, I like the way you just kind of dropped in the Fender and the, you know, differentiating between the different
The
instruments.
tone is different. Yeah,
You are a musician yourself, right?
correct.
You play the bass.
Correct. I play keys. I play acoustic guitar
Oh,
too.
Oh, okay, Prince.
Never. I wish.
What
But
got you?
I
in
dig
the-
all of his. I dig his rock. Somebody mentioned Bambi. That is one of my top 5 songs. Everything that he did with Third Eye Girl, all of that stuff. He and that was a Vox guitar, which was dope too. I like all of it. What got me into playing though is I come from a family of musicians, so you know, you go to church. Mom's the choir director and played keys and all that stuff. So first thing I learned how to do is play keys. Yeah,
You played in a church?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What church was that? You remember?
The first church. So that would have been in it was called Pleasant Green. That was in Kansas. Golly. I was born in Kansas City, so there's that.
Kansas City. Let me ask you this, because I was
Hey, thanks, Deja. I see a good comment in there. She said,
you say you owe me
she's
some money?
glad you brought me on because that female perspective. Oh yeah, and a musician, yeah, that too.
That's what's up. That's what's
Hey,
up.
somebody's got a bass that their brother. Nice. What kind is it? Sorry, I see bass. I'm like, questions.
Kenny. What's it? Having a G&L bass that my late brother left me. Okay.
Nice.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, speaking of musicians, this brother right here, he's one of the coldest cats that I know, musician-wise. Matter of fact, let me see if we can put him on Spotlight. Let me see. Hold on.
Nice. He had it restored. That's dope.
Yeah, here we go. So this is what's cool when you know, in the Prince community, there's a lot of great musicians and artists and different things. So we want to give my man here some props and we're gonna play a little bit of one of his songs.
Hi, Gabriel. Sorry. I'm finally seeing all the comments at the same time that you're doing this. I'm like, oh,
That's not good. Let's get into a bit of radio. Sir, we're gonna put you on blast here. This is the cut. Yeah. Oh my God. That's right. Hey. I can hear Casey Kasem coming at you live. This is the new song. This is radio.
Oh man.
Give me this. Talk about that shoe on radio.
Netherlands. What's up? All right. That's radio friend of the show. Am I saying your name right, Nicholas? Is that how I pronounce that? But check that out. My man's
That's
it.
dope.
The musician, they always got. I got a new mix on that one though. I know. We
Perfecting
know.
that art. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. This is Tomorrowland is the name of the project. It's got bangers on there. I can show a picture. I don't know if that's gonna work.
Yeah, I can't see it. I don't know if people out there can.
But I'll put a link in the show notes to this
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, dynamic.
Ooh, somebody's got a fretless. Ooh, and some double bass players and stuff. Okay, all right.
Okay. So you say you started out, your family was musicians.
Yes.
Church.
I have an uncle that actually he's a drummer. He does work with all kinds of people, Christian rock and all kinds of stuff. So yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And then you have, I know on your Instagram and your Facebook, you'll post like videos you're playing bass,
Yeah.
songs and stuff. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
All right. So we were playing some stuff. We were just vibing. You know, Deja made a great comment about just having, the ladies' female perspective on Prince's music, and it's very important because I always feel like he was making it for y'all.
I kind of think so too. Like he was making it for all of us, but he always tended to make us feel special. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. So are you both going to be in Minnie for a couple of weeks?
I will.
You live out there, right?
I live here now, so I'll be here.
Yeah, I will not. I'm
Oh,
gonna be watching it from afar. So all of y'all that go, please post your stuff because I'll be one of those people watching, trying to see what's popping. I'm very
so
interested.
no last minute change. You didn't change your mind at the last minute?
No. I'm having a celebration here.
Oh, okay.
My
All right.
son's coming here, so that's gonna be my celebration. We
All
celebrate.
right.
But I'm very interested to see, or hear about what the concert video or music that they may be playing.
Yeah. Supposed to be some unreleased tracks and stuff like that. I'll definitely update folks on all of that stuff because I will be there.
Right on. That's only a couple weeks away. And I think, one of the things they've now announced single day tickets.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Do you know if are people biting? Like, are they excited about that or?
I don't know anybody personally.
Okay.
But I've seen people talk about, they like the idea. Some people say, well, it'd have been great if you had announced that
A little sooner or something like that.
So I can understand that. On one hand, I kind of feel like as many times as they have done celebration, I would kind of think they would have it together it would be so streamlined.
You would think, but they don't do it the same way every time. That's the thing. It's almost like practice. You know how that goes? So if you keep doing it, if you're doing the same thing the same way every time, you're going to get better and better and better. But really and truly, and I'm only talking about the celebrations after 2016, it's been pretty much something different each time. And I know there's been changes in management and all of that different kind of stuff. But yeah, I think that's one of the things that makes it more difficult and when I say they do it differently, it's not like the thing where you learn something so you do it better. It hasn't been that. It's just been trying stuff to see what works. That's the way that it comes off anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just I would feel like they would kind of have already be able to settle in to a well-oiled machine
by now. Yeah.
But
but you can't do that with the changes in who's in control of things, because whoever comes in, they're going to want to do things their way, right? And so they get in there and they start doing some stuff, and then now we're off to this next set of people. So I'm sure that's a big part of it. Unfortunately, I saw a comment. Somebody said that we're neighbors, so I guess I'll see them.
Oh,
in a couple of weeks.
Samantha's out there.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay.
Man, I think I met Samantha with Chester back in the a while ago.
I see a lot of musicians and stuff in the comments. Very nice. We have to get together and jam. I get offers. I need to start taking people up on these offers. I think I'm going to start doing that soon.
Do you have music that
Like
you,
of my own, or do I play with other people?
or well, either way.
So I don't write anymore. I used to when I was younger, and when I was in Texas, I actually played with the Zydeco band. And I'll sit in with people, but I haven't done it since I moved up here. But I have all my equipment, so I'm gonna start doing that soon.
Wow, interesting. All right, all right. There's a lot of musicians in that
There's
area.
a lot of musicians. Yeah,
You mess around and be up there on stage at bunkers or something.
yeah, I could see that. I'd be cool with that.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope.
And so then you
So
would have to come to Minneapolis, though.
hilarious. Yeah, for sure. Richard said, great interview with Tony M. Yeah, Tony M. If you
Yeah.
haven't checked that out, definitely go check out the Tony M interview did a few weeks ago. Salute to that brother, man. He shared some great things. I think the thing that I remember at the time I had no idea about was when he talked about the possible connection with Tupac and the Gold Nigga album and possibly doing like a mini movie or something.
What?
I'm like, I can't even imagine if that would have
That's
happened.
like, oh man.
That would have been nuts. Oh, let's see. Samantha says, I think we first met at the PRN alumni event at the machine shop,
Okay.
Michael, and then maybe through Kanisa or Jesse. We were thick as thieves when P was here. Yeah, you know what? It might have been at the PRN alumni thing. But yeah, every time I feel like every time I go to Minneapolis, I see you in some capacity. So yeah, salute. All right, so yeah, like I said, we're just here. But I was going to ask you something, and got into the conversation, and I just lost the frame of reference of what I was going.
Oh no.
But with that said, so what are you listening to these days, Prince wise?
I've been on Diamonds and Pearls for some reason. I don't really know what that's about. I'll have these moments where I'm kind of into a thing, and right now it's that. Really, that used to be called New Power Generation Symbol album. That's one of my favorite albums. I like that more than Diamonds and Pearls. Damn You is one of my all-time favorite songs. I listen to that album a lot. For some reason, I like to mix that with Diamonds and Pearls. So I'm kind of like in that era right now.
Nah,
Enjoying it too. It's cloud guitar era, but that's okay.
I made I guess you can call it a playlist or whatever, but I took those two albums, Diamonds and Pearls and the Symbol album, and made them as if they were just one album.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, so I called it if the album was going to be called Love to the Nines.
Nice.
And I'm just gonna quickly
I
just
like
go
that.
through, yeah, I'm gonna go through. I'm not gonna play all of them, but just to give you an idea. So I started it out. The album started with we're gonna stop there because they'll snatch this down. So it went into that, then it goes into Get Off.
Okay, all right. Different vibe.
Yeah, different vibes. So and then it went into this. This is one of my songs, man.
Really? A lot of people like Blue Light. A lot of people.
I love this. I was in Hawaii one time, a couple years ago. I was just out and about, and a car or something was blasting this. But it was a cover version.
What?
Yeah, it was like an Hawaiian reggae, and they was blasting it loud. I was
That's
like,
interesting.
I was there. I was like, I know this song. What is this? And I was like, oh, this is Blue Light.
That's crazy.
So apparently out there it was like a little hit or something.
I don't even know. Everywhere. A lot of people did that one. What you got next?
Next up was Walk, Don't Walk.
Okay.
On this side of the street, don't talk. And then kind of finishing out maybe the first side. Again, it's in a CD world, it doesn't necessarily matter, but it was this song here.
Yeah, that one's dope.
You already know.
Yep. Yep, that's one of them songs about women. Yeah, he always made us feel special.
That song is magnificent. Yeah. That's one of those ones that to me it doesn't get
it doesn't
of
it doesn't
notoriety and props because that's like
it doesn't, but it should.
Yeah, shit.
I listen to it when I'm in rotation, but I also like Three Chains of Gold though. So sorry, but I actually really like that song. Some people are like, "Oh, he's trying to be like Queen," which is actually a good thing because who doesn't love Freddie Mercury? But I
Right.
think it's his own thing, and I think it's good. I like it.
Yeah, phenomenal. And then I go with some of the obvious thing here. Diamonds and Pearls would be
Yeah.
next after that. Then I go into Cream.
Oh, yeah.
I get stuck on that. Which Cream is the thing is I didn't really appreciate that song back then, like I should have. I loved the Arsenio Hall
Yeah, but
take
that's a
on it.
live performance though, so
Yeah, and that
you
was
don't
the
love
first
that,
version I heard. That
Okay,
came out before the single had dropped. And
okay.
it's like, so I was so stuck on that. And then of course the song blows up. The video is synonymous
Mhm.
on TV. But I always was like, I treated it like I treated You Got the Look.
How did you treat You Got the Look?
Well, I liked the song, but it was one that
Man,
I never would play it
I used
because
to wait. I was a little kid. I remember waiting for that video to come on
really,
when they would do the countdowns for like, I guess that was MTV. I would be waiting for the You Got the Look video. I'm
yeah.
serious. Yeah,
No,
I
I'm not.
love that.
The video was dope. The song. I think it was just one of those ones that it felt mainstream to me. Like that's the one everyone else was playing, so I didn't want to.
Gotcha. Oh,
I would
okay.
just kind of like not fully give
Okay.
into it. Now, when the 12-inch came out, the extended version, all over that.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
that's how I had. So Cream was like I liked it, but I never would play it myself.
Huh. Okay.
But now I play it, and I think that song is incredible. Like, and it always was incredible, but just the drums, and it's like a blues kind of thing, really.
It's
But
funky. Yeah.
yeah, it's just like I was like, who
And
can
then his
do that?
guitar solo, and yeah, Samantha said she could pass when You Got the Look. I love that song, but I
Right?
do agree with Take Me With You. And I'm not going to say why, but yes, I would pass because we're going to be positive. So
Like take me with
I I can listen to it, but it depends on who's singing it.
interesting. Okay, I'll let it go. I'll let it
Lots
go
of live versions that are really great.
for sure, for sure. So Cream, Money Don't Matter Tonight,
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
brilliant song. So the last three on the album would be
All seven and we'll watch them fall. They stand in the way of.
I mean,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
song
yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
ah,
Oh, Liv. I love Liv. She's so great.
and then the second to the last song, sort of the blow it out before we take it all home.
Man. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. So and because the
Morning
vibe I
Papers
be
is great.
on, the last song, we got one more song. What do you think the last song is? Or what would you put it as?
I don't know. I don't know.
So
The anticipation is killing me though.
yeah, the love. This is the Love to the Nines Quantum Realm album. Remember, it's called Love to the Nines. It started out
But you already played Love to the Night. You started with that. So what you
right.
got?
Started out. So when we end it, we gotta take it home. And man, if they would have did it, yeah. This anyway. I'm talking to you.
Ooh, okay.
Yes,
All right.
that's it. Yeah, that's the end of that album. So that album was made for a specific, vibe,
For sure.
And that's what we going out on that insatiable. He would be like, okay, you already know it.
We know what that is. I'm like, we keeping it family, so let's move on.
Right. And that insatiable might have been a little longer
Oh my
version or
God.
something.
Yeah, that song right there. Lord have mercy.
But yeah, so I've been playing that collection of songs, especially like in the car or
Okay.
whatever. It's like, yeah, this is
Somebody mentioned Willing and Able. That's not in there.
Yeah,
That's one of my.
I
Oh, I
love that, but
love
yeah,
that
just I
song.
was going for more of a, like I said, a Love to the Nines,
Okay. Okay.
kind of a more of a soul R&B thing. Now, of course, that
I
would
feel like you could throw that on in there. Put that
that'd have
on
been a
there
nice piece. That'd have been the cool B-side.
because that's a
So, yeah. I love the video version of that song.
yeah.
That was incredible. Wasn't that? It was part of like some NFL when it first came out. You remember that? It was some kind of football thing on TV, and I remember them advertising like you got to watch the whole football event because they're going to
Hmm.
debut a new Prince video, and it was
Oh,
willing. It was the Willing and Able thing. I don't even watch sports. So I remember I had to like sit
check
there
that out. Yeah,
and
with good reason. With good reason. That's
so I
fair.
could videotape it.
On the VHS, or
On
I'm
the
just
VHS.
kidding.
Yeah,
No, really.
yeah, for real.
I
Was
was
that
just kidding. All right.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man, it looks like you got some stuff happening in the comments. They're going so
Yeah.
fast I can't read them all.
Let's see what we got going on here. Uh, let's see. What about Rainbow Children? Oh,
I love that. That's one of my
perfect.
favorites.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
Oh, Insatiable versus Adore. Which song is the winner?
See, the thing about that is songs have moods, and I always have to qualify things. I hate being limited. I like to have all the choices. So it depends on what I'm trying to accomplish, which one is the winner in that circumstance, if that makes any sense. Work with me. We're keeping this PG.
Okay. I would just say personally on a song that I would pick Adore.
We know that.
I mean,
We know
just
that, Dean. We know.
musically, it's just like in the way
It's
he
your song. We
sings,
know.
yeah. You know, he's just he's on something else on that one.
Yeah. It's one of the all-time. One of the all-time for
But
sure.
the thing is though, like the Insatiable video, that
That's why I said it depends on what you're
right,
trying to
right.
accomplish. I'm trying to
I got you. Okay, I'll listen.
say it
Yeah,
without saying.
yeah, because the video, I guess I'm a dude, but I just even as a dude, I'm
Your
like,
eyes work.
yeah, that's some fly chick going on right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It was
Yeah,
dope.
yeah, yeah.
See, that cut was deep, like how raw Prince could get the cut is a funk ballad.
Which one?
I'm not sure
It was
which.
probably Insatiable because you were playing that, I bet.
Okay, well, obviously we got some. So Kanye, she says Adore, Realign, Adore, Devin's Insatiable. Okay, you can't go wrong with either
Either
one.
one, exactly.
I
It
think
just depends on what you're trying to do.
they're both. Yeah, they're both. Yeah, yeah. As I think about it more, it does depend on what you're trying to do because Adore is a certain type of
It is. It's a certain type of. They're both
insatiable is like
love, but exactly. Imagine with me, if you will, just like
right.
yeah. There are different kinds of songs. Adore definitely is one of those kind of songs that you can play where your mom and them is around, and it's all good. Like
Right.
what I mean? You don't
Right.
have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you. I played. Put myself out there. My second marriage. You have the wedding song
Uh-huh.
or the dance song or something at the reception. We played Adore. That was
Because you could do that, but you're not
yeah.
getting ready to bust
You
out
couldn't do that.
the whole family, grandma and them there, and
Yeah,
everything. You're gonna bust out Insatiable like you're in a certain kind of. I'm just kidding.
yeah. We wasn't raised like that. They would have been like, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
that wouldn't exactly. But
Like,
they're
well,
both
you done
amazing
lost his
songs.
damn mind.
Exactly. Boy, what you
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, but they're both
Um,
amazing. But I know you're partial to Adore, so I'm gonna leave that where it is.
well, that's all right. That's all right. But yeah, we just got down. We were talking about you brought up the Symbol album, Diamonds and Pearls.
One of my favorites.
So yeah, those it made me start also was thinking, what were there other albums that are in the same time frame that could be if you had to make them one album?
So there's stuff from the Vault, the 1994 version of the Vault with
Mhm.
like There Is Lonely and not She Spoke to Me. What's the other? When the Lights Go Down, I would put that in there.
Mm.
Those are songs that, like, when I'm actually doing my playlist, I actually do put those together.
Brought up Crucial. That was
Yeah.
another good song. Like, well, this be specific. I'm like saying like maybe you could take Dirty Mind and Controversy
Yeah.
and
Potentially. Yeah.
combine them into sort of one, possibly.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, I don't. Well, obviously, some you could argue Black Album and Lovesexy could.
They
could
well, they do
very
have some
double
same,
album.
like When Tour and Love is on both of those. So
Now that would have been an interesting double album. Like
yeah.
one side was black, the other side was white, or or Rebirth. That would have been actually kind of dope. Actually,
Yeah.
I could see that. And then that was the tour. Play the one, and then I watched the Lovesexy, that German concert last night. I hadn't seen
Okay.
it. I hadn't sat down and watched it in quiet.
The whole thing.
The whole thing,
Okay.
top to bottom. Oh
Yeah.
boy, he was something else on
Yeah.
that.
I mean, that's the right reaction.
My God, he was amazing. It's just
Yep.
there's so much going on. The band is tight.
Absolutely. And
This
Lovesexy
kid-
Band is a band. That's the
Yeah.
band right there.
And then just the outfits. If you really just pay attention to what he's wearing and the different stuff,
You know I do.
Right.
You know I pay attention to what he's wearing and how he looks at it. Absolutely.
his hair and stuff.
Yeah. But Miko on guitar, Levi, like all of it, it's just 100%.
Yeah,
You can't do nothing but
yeah. It was the stage,
yeah.
just the whole coming out with
There's
the
a lot going
car
on.
was so cold. Vroom, vroom. And then he got out like, what's happening?
Slam the door and right into that one starts with Erotic City, huh?
Yes,
Oh man, that's what dope.
he was on fire, man. And it was like, I don't know how to describe it. He was doing the older songs to a degree, but it was the newer, older kind of songs.
Yeah.
And then the transition of like coming back with Lovesexy, it was a whole thing. Like it was a whole different vibe to him,
Absolutely.
And then it was funny when he would do. It's like, okay, I got to do some of these Purple Rain songs. And it was like he was acting like the Lovesexy Prince,
Mm-hmm.
and then he became like, okay, now I'm going to be the greatest hits Prince for a second.
Yep.
Like that's how I saw it. Like I could see him switching into. I was like, yeah, this is very interesting. And then it ends with Alphabet Street,
Which is
I was just like, God. And you just, what do you say at the end? It's like, hold on to your soul, y'all. We got we love you.
yeah, positivity. Yeah.
Yeah. I Wish You Heaven.
Love that song.
Ah,
All of it. That's an amazing show.
the piano sit down.
That's one of my favorites. He's so good, and that's because people were talking in the chat about him doing classical and all that kind of stuff. And I love the scene where he's playing kind of like really goofy classical type music, and then the crowd starts clapping. He's like, for real? Like, come on now. And then breaks down into Strange Relationship. But the tone of the piano is so different because he's playing funk piano now, and it's a totally different thing. Absolutely love that. That's one of my favorite parts of that show.
Yeah, he had everybody in the palm of his hand.
He did.
Like, I have to actually, let me see if I can find this real quick. Because there's a thing he does at the beginning of the piano part that I used to have this on cassette tapes, so I would listen to it over and over.
On the what now? Did you have to take a pencil and like
Listen? let me find this, because this was, I just love, he didn't have to do what I'm about to play, but he does it. Let me find this real quick. Bear with me.
You're not digging for the cassette, are you? I'm just kidding.
No,
I know you're not.
Hilarious. No. Is this it? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Hope I don't mess it up. No. Hold on. I didn't do it properly. It's hard to back up on this.
Man, they heard me about the pencil. Taking pencil to rewind your tape.
Now listen to him. You can't see him. The crowd's just going crazy. All right. The crowd was lit during this performance. Did I pass it?
I know.
Oh, I did. My bad.
I know.
Hold on. We're doing it live, so I may make a mistake. Sorry. I just want to find that. If I can find it. This is it. Crowd going crazy. You say that's the Dutch people? Yeah, they came to have a good time. Man, just the guitar, the piano playing in the way, love it.
He definitely had a way about him, no question about that.
All right.
Plus the faces he would make, just the whole thing is just all around showmanship. Amazing.
Yeah,
dressed like Mozart. I always call him sexy Mozart, and that's the exactly. I love that.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. He was I was looking at it super deep, but he was like, his mannerisms are different in this section than on others, and he's almost like he's playing another character. He's like very flirtatious. I don't know if it's the way he just moves is just sounds like, God, he is so deeply invested in what he is delivering. Like, yeah, it's amazing, man. Like, he's just giving himself over to this whole aura thing that
I think that's one of those, that's just another part of him that he was putting out there. That's why it comes off so real. It's just another part of him.
Yeah.
I noticed that some of his movements too, I'm not ashamed to say I've watched it in that deep way as well. And he's singing in that show, he's doing When Doves Cry, and it's the way he moves his hips and his pelvis and everything. I'm like, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. Can other people see this?
Yeah. Like,
so good. So good.
Yeah, it's interesting how far he had come just at that time from what he was doing before.
Yeah.
And just, you can see the mastering of his body, and he must be a combination of videotaping himself and extensively watching how he looks and moves, and also doing this stuff in front of sort of a mirror or something, because there's like the part where he kind of does his solo dance. I think it's kind of toward the end part of the Lovesexy song. And he does that whole dance thing, and it's like and it's like the way he is positioned his body, it's like he understands how that looks.
Oh yeah.
Every sort of movement is so spot. I was like, God, this guy was a master performer.
Like, I love that he would actually watch the show back and then perfect things on that basis, because that gave us all that wonderful stuff to see. So yeah, I'm 100% with it.
Yeah, it was amazing. I can sit here and geek out for the next 2 hours, but we're not. So we're gonna wrap this thing up. But I appreciate you definitely for coming for part 2.
Yeah.
and doing this with me. This is great. Salute to Zach. Had to leave a little early. Thank you to everybody in the comments section. Man, this guy that we're talking about just brings us so much joy. It's just like a
Absolutely.
great thing. I'm glad that we could share this with everybody. Listen, we're about to get up out of here. I'm hungry. I got to eat a buck. But listen, enjoy the rest of your day. It's a 3-day weekend here in the state. So definitely relax into that and love. Yo, working like a job. We will see you next time. Peace.